Hello and welcome to Gladys Cake Kitchen. Today I am making simple caramel sauce, and this is a dry caramel made with sugar melted in a saucepan over direct heat without water. Caramel in cake decorating is a soft filling which can be used for filling cakes, cupcakes and cake jars. But for Christmas I'm going to be showing you how to wrap this rather simple homemade sauce into a lovely Christmas present. So without having to waste your time, let's get into making some caramel. To start with making the caramel, we'll be measuring and organizing our ingredients first, and in a saucepan goes in 300 grams of granulated sugar. This will be set on a heat source to melt without water. The difference between a dry caramel and wet caramel is that for wet caramel, water is added to the sugar and set over the source of heat. Gradually, when the sugar syrup boils, the water evaporates, leaving the melted sugar to caramelize. But that's just a bit of information to note about wet caramel. I have 60 grams of unsalted butter, which can be replaced with salted butter, and there's 75 ml of fresh double cream and a pinch of salt since I'm using unsalted butter. A detailed list of the ingredients plus extra information about the process of making caramel is in the description box for you to check out now. With the ingredients measured and organized, the saucepan containing the sugar is set over a heat source for the sugar to melt. Now this part of the caramel making process is slightly tricky with different views of information online, but for me though, I haven't quite found a specific method that makes this part of the process any more efficient for better results than cooking the sugar on medium heat, which helps to melt the sugar slowly without burning. At this stage, it's best to keep a close eye on the sugar and stir from the corners in. There are recommendations to not stir the sugar at all, as this may lead to clumps. Stirring may also cause the sugar to stick to the spatula or wooden spoon, but I'd say quantity matters where these recommendations are concerned. For instance, a large quantity of caramel made in a small pan may cause the sugar to not spread out easily, which may also lead to burning from the bottom up if left unstirred. But this quantity of caramel made here is just about enough in this bowl, which I have stirred consistently from the start. Because the heat is fairly low, the clumps of sugar have melted without burning the sauce, and once the sugar is melted completely, the heat is reduced to low before the butter is added while stirring continuously. The butter is a cold block which serves to melt into the caramel while also cooling down the temperature of the sauce. A pinch of salt follows for taste. Worth noting, having a saucepan with a solid or heavy bottom will prove useful for better results in making caramel. This saucepan I have here has a light bottom, which is why you'll notice I have occasionally lifted the bottom of the heat. When the butter is melted, the fresh double cream is added, which has a fat content of about 48%, equivalent to heavy cream in America. The double cream has vanilla flavoring, which is optional, and after adding the cream into the melted sugar and butter sauce, the caramel is left to boil 2 to 3 minutes before it's taken off the heat and transferred into a heat-proof bowl to cool down. The caramel sauce after cooling is ready to be added as an accompaniment to our favorite desserts such as cakes and ice cream. But for this Christmas, I have used this caramel for filling into cake jars and saved an extra jar as a simple homemade present. To do this, a portion of the caramel was transferred into a sterilized glass jar, filling the jar almost full. The jar is covered with a lid and a sellotape used as a seal for the jar. A Christmas themed sticker was applied to the top of the jar and some branded stickers on the side. I've had these stickers made a while back, which came in handy for use, but the idea is to personalize any labels to your preferences, which isn't just limited to Christmas. Once done, a gold ribbon is tied to the lid of the jar, making this simple bottle of homemade sauce pretty for presentation. To assemble the present, the jar of caramel is placed in a box lined with bubble wrap. This is then filled with packing beans and some Lindt white chocolate truffles. Some shredded white tissue paper is placed over and a branded wrapping paper is added. Some Christmas themed decorations are placed in the box, and a Christmas card may be added to this as well. You could also add any items that may fit into this box. This caramel jar was packed with a cake jar which came in super handy. For a baker who enjoys making and sharing my baked goods, this is a rather awesome present to give with so much thought gone into making it, and I hope you get to try it out for the seasons ahead in the new year, whether it's a birthday, wedding favors, or bridesmaids giftings. These little jars aren't just limited to caramel, but perhaps curd too, and showing on screen is my simple lemon curd recipe and a playlist of videos from this Christmas Vlogmas series. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching and Happy New Year in advance.